I'm Zach, I'm from the Ocado team, and I'm joined here with Ben and Alex, and we're here today to give you some really exciting retail media updates from the Ocado team. But for those of you who don't know, hopefully not many of you, but for those of you who don't know much about Ocado, we've got a video to introduce who we are.
Look, Ocado give you what you want every time.
Awesome. So that actually should say 8 months in a row, but we'll get that updated. So as I said, it's all about here today talking about Ocado Ads and how you and your brands can grow with Ocado. So to put some numbers against what we just saw, Ocado is the world's largest only online supermarket. We have about 15% of the UK grocery online market share, and now we're at over 1 million active customers a week. And due to our innovative operating model, we are able to provide products to customers faster and more reliably than any other supermarket. And what that means is customers really love and really trust us. So the customers that we do have come back, and we have over 40 million average monthly sessions. And what that means is we're delivering over double-digit growth year on year, with that trajectory going to continue. But what makes Ocado really special? And we call it the secret sauce. So if you like a tortured metaphor, it's all about the technology from Ocado Group, and you may have seen the robot there, around how we deliver and how we fulfill our customer orders, and with the choice that we get from M&S. So we're able to provide customers with the biggest choice from M&S, own label, and branded products, which means that we offer the widest choice, and we deliver what customers order on time, in full, and that means our customers are really loyal, and they come back and they keep shopping again and again with us. But built into the Ocado DNA is our rich history of innovation. And actually, some of the things that we now take for granted in the grocery retail space. So, for example, SmartPass, having a grocery app. If you want to feel old, look at what an iPhone used to look like. And now we were the first ones in the UK to develop a transactional grocery app. Alexa, all things like this were first pioneered by Ocado and are now industry standard. We were also the first retailer in the UK to integrate with CitrusAd. And we were continuing that rich history of innovation as we build out our proposition. So we're here today to talk about Ocado Ads and why that is so exciting. And I've pulled out just 3 key things that we've announced over the last 18 months. So our self-serve proposition with Trade Desk that was announced last year. We have MPD Lab, which is a proposition where suppliers and brands can supply a very small amount of products to us and actually test it with different audiences within the UK that wouldn't be possible with stores. And then our partnership with Zitcher, where we've got our self-serve ads platform to allow brands to come in and self-serve their advertising with us. And we have a And we have a really comprehensive roadmap of insights and assets that we'll be continuing to deliver. So what does Ocado Ads mean? We've spoken a lot about it. And as with any retail media proposition, it starts with the funnel. So we have a unique retail media network for Ocado, which is a unique retailer. So we've built it from the ground up based on advertiser need. So upper funnel brand building, or further down, encouraging loyalty and encouraging repurchase with lifetime value. We then take the individual elements that a brand can activate against, and we want to be known as the most flexible retailer. And there are 4 key pillars of our ads proposition. So the first one is flexibility, and we want to have the most flexible operating model. We want to be the easiest retail media network in the UK to work with, and we believe this all starts with self-serve. So you, as brands, come to us, and we want to activate however you want to activate. That's all underpinned by our audiences. So as I said, we have a really rich, loyal audience. We want to be able to all of the activations to be able to activate against those audiences and get the insights off the back of them. The third one, innovation. We spoke a lot about this, and we want to continue to constantly push boundaries, driving test and learn, and bringing new things to market more rapidly than any other. And then finally, it's all underpinned by insight and measurement. So the best insight and measurement in the UK, all underpinned to IAB standards. And that's delivered through our flexible Beat platform. So those are the 4 pillars of Ocado Ads and what makes Ocado Ads unique. I'm now going to hand over to Alex, who's going to talk a little bit about Brand Toolkit and how brands can activate against our retail media network.
Brilliant. Hey guys, good to see you. I get the handhold mic, so that's kind of very groovy in a nightclub. It's the kind of thing I dreamt of when I was a teenager, actually. I didn't quite imagine I'd be presenting on retail media, though, when I was a teen. Anyway, I'm here to present to you guys on the Brand Toolkit, which is a new proposition that we've recently launched and we're bringing to market. So if we move to the next slide.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. I'll grab that. Brilliant. Andy. So yeah, the Brand Toolkit. The Brand Toolkit, what is it? Very reasonable question. It's full funnel. So the Brand Toolkit is a range of full funnel inventory that spans across multiple different platforms. Each of those platforms and each of those inventory has been specifically selected for brand growth. So they've been chosen with brand growth in mind. The on-site element, it's a full funnel proposition. So we have on-site media in there. The on-site element is exclusive. It's only available through the Brand Toolkit. And crucially, all of the inventories are fully branded. So you can be more educative, you can be more brand-led with those creatives. You can really tell customers a story about your product, why they should be buying it, why it's better than competitors A and B, rather than just linking it back to a price sort of or a promotion action. So, so the next pillar, audiences. Audiences are a massive, massive part of the Brand Toolkit. But if we take a step back, I guess what we're trying to do at its core is make things as easy as brands or agencies as possible that want to activate using the Brand Toolkit. So as I mentioned, the Brand Toolkit spans multiple different platforms. But we're creating one place where you can buy that. So it's one buy, but crucially, it's one audience, rather than going to all the different platforms separately and buying audiences on each of them where there's some degree of overlap, but they might not always overlap exactly. Brand Toolkit is one buy and one audience. And what that means is you can be a lot more controlled with the way that you sort of communicate to your customers. But the control and consistency of the audience is only one part of what makes this so powerful. Our audiences, as Zach sort of alluded to earlier, are incredibly granular. We're online first, in fact, we're online only. And that means that everything on our site can be tracked. So we can get really, really smart with the audiences that we're creating. So the power of our data, the audiences, that's a key part of Brand Toolkit. Insights and measurement are a key part of the Brand Toolkit. So every Brand Toolkit campaign comes with insights and measurement out the box. That's not only because that's an expectation for brands and agencies, That's because we know that our data is so powerful that we want to scream and shout about it. We don't want you to we want you to see the performance that we're able to deliver with our data. Finally, innovation. Innovation has always been at the core of Ocado. We've always been disruptors in retail, and that should permeate everything we do, including our media as well. So every single campaign that you activate through the Brand Toolkit will be sort of in partnership with our dedicated in-house team of retail media specialists who will help you sort of optimize to whatever objective that you might have. Separately as well, it's a moving feast. You know, the Brand Toolkit, it's a relatively new proposition, but as opportunities present themselves, we'll continue to iterate and evolve the proposition. So that's kind of a bit about the high-level sort of strategy, concept, idea. So I'll put a little bit more meat on the bones for you guys. So this slide hopefully brings the Brand Toolkit to life in a little bit more detail. It's illustrative. Not all of the inventories on this slide. Sorry, I couldn't fit all of the inventories that are available through the Brand Toolkit on this slide. There are too many, but this is a good example of all of the different inventories that would be available. So right at the top, we've got our sort of off-site, our digital out-of-home. These are very good for driving awareness. The inspirational piece, really important. So social and email really, really work well on Ocado. I think it was Tesco actually recently said that 85% of customers want to be inspired. We know that to be true. It's particularly true of the Ocado customer. Our customers love the fact that we have an extended range and they love trying new things. So these bits, the social and email that help to inspire customers and help them find new ranges, really, really important. Moving down the funnel, generating sales, we have what we call enhanced inspiration banner. It's basically a fully branded creative next to 3 product SKUs. It sits in grid. So again, it helps link back from the upper funnel sort of piece down through the funnel, sort of really easy to add to basket for the consumer. So it's actually taking that upper funnel awareness and helping to convert that into transactions. Then right down at the bottom, we have coupons, which helped, and various other bits as well, actually, that help to sort of encourage repeat purchases. So the Brand Toolkit, we've already run this with several different brands, and we've seen really, really good performance off the back of it. So I don't want to teach anyone here how to suck eggs, but obviously, you know, so this was an activation with Sheba, and basically, you might not know this, only 26% of households in the UK have a cat. So by default, if you're not targeting your media and you're selling cat food, you know, 74% of your ad spend is going to be wasted. So for these guys, really, really important that we're advertising to people that we can see have a cat. The brief from Sheba was that basically they wanted to reactivate or acquire new-to-brand customers, i.e. increase penetration. So what we did was we took an audience segment of cat buyers, and we identified, you know, cat buyers that basically weren't buying Sheba or hadn't bought Sheba in a very, very long time. And as you can see, there was a really good incremental sales uplift. But not only that, you know, we saw a real bump at a total sales level, which is really good to see, especially when you're sort of acquiring those not so easy to acquire customers who are either lapsed or haven't bought the brand before. So that's kind of a bit on the Brand Toolkit. Hopefully that's been helpful. If we have brands in the room, if we have any agencies, anyone who wants to sort of reach out, please do feel free. I'll be at the sort of after party. So you'll see me there. Reach out, LinkedIn, email, however works best. But over to Ben.
Cool. So given that this is our first time here at the iabuk Upfronts, it feels like it's only right that we finish up with a product launch. So over the next few minutes, I'll have the pleasure of being able to take you through one of our latest proposition developments, Audience Plus. But before I actually go into what the solution is, I first want to take you back 18 months to when we launched our first iteration of a self-serve proposition alongside the trade desk. When we launched this proposition, we really wanted to speak to our disruptor mindset, whilst also tapping into some real market challenges that we genuinely believed a self-serve model would be able to answer. Those market challenges, as we saw them, boil down into 3 key areas. Firstly, control over campaign execution. Ultimately, a managed service means that advertisers and agencies are always one step removed from being able to truly influence campaign optimization and overall execution. Secondly, Advertisers, much like they do with us as retailers, have JBPs in place with ad platforms. What they want to be able to do is spend from these arranged deals, but ultimately the only way that they can do that is from their seat. And thirdly, incorporating audiences into wider campaigns. We hear more and more from advertisers that are they're looking at retail audiences less in the silo of conversion objectives and more in the space of wider full funnel activations. It's been a fascinating journey since we launched with the trade desk. We've taken a whole host of learnings along the way, but most importantly, I think one of the main things that we've seen is that we're able to meet these demands. I think this is evidenced in both the fact that we have seen a number of advertisers come to the solution over the year, and then also the fact that we're being able to produce some fantastic case studies like the one we have with Andrex here. But overall, this has really inspired us to continue to scale and champion in the self-serve space, which brings us here today to talk about Audience Plus. So, Audience Plus. At the heart of it, this is a proposition that takes those same market challenges we saw 18 months ago, but we look to meet with even more scaled capabilities and options for advertisers. The way that we see it is that we are producing a true end-to-end self-serve proposition that puts the power of the first-party data in the hands of the advertiser. This all starts with clean room technology. In truth, this solution would not exist without clean room technology, because we as data holders are able to share data with the advertiser without ever actually giving them access to the underlying customer data. What we do, and the way that we do this, is we create specific client environments. And we're focusing on two key use cases initially. Firstly, insights. This is where we push shopper behavior data, and we're really trying to couple that with customization. We want to be able to give the advertisers the insights that they need rather than a preset dashboards to tell them what we think they should know. The whole point to this is to improve campaign planning, and the expectation is that advertisers will use the insights that they get from this module and move that into the next part of the solution, which is audience building. Again, championing that customization, we're enabling custom queries to be run over our customer profile data so that advertisers can extract the sort of audiences that they think will meet the brief. When I talked about scaled capabilities, for me, this is that personification of exactly that. Being able to do this in one environment and then still do exactly what we are seeing success with the trade desk. And that's being able to push the audiences to the advertiser's seat. So what we would love to be able to see is advertisers creating these audiences and pushing them to multiple different seats. And all of this, of course, is tied together with measurement. So we would look to two different types of measurement. Firstly, where available, we want to see exposure data coming back from the ad platforms so that we can measure exposure through to transaction. Or we, of course, have the insights module where an advertiser can go back in and run any insights over a period of time to determine whether there was a successful campaign or not. But of course, this is just sales data, a key part to retail media, but can be coupled with the standard media metrics that the advertiser gets from the platform. So that's Audience Plus. The reality is we are at the beginning of our journey. We want to hear from you in the room about your own experiences with self-serve. It is an area that we are very much looking to champion, and the ask is simple, just come and talk to us. Just come and tell us what you would love to see from self-serve, and I would hope to think we could meet it. So that's pretty much it from Ocado Ads. Before I let you go, I just want to recap on some of the key areas that myself and the team have covered. Innovation at our core. This is, as you've already seen today, a fundamental part to Ocado. It's in our DNA. You've seen it, hopefully, with the robot. If you haven't, it was a logistical nightmare, so please just go look at it. So innovation at our core is something that we try to carry through into our media propositions, carry through into Ocado Ads. MPD Labs is a fantastic proposition that is second to none for brands to be able to test their products, and Audience Plus, being a little bit biased, I think is pretty innovative. But we, of course, have a really exciting roadmap of new capabilities to come. A flexible operating model is truly what we believe will make us the most flexible retail media network to work with. Whether it's self-serve, whether it's managed service through Brand Toolkit, or anything in between. The whole point of what we're trying to set out is to become very flexible and easy to work with. And we're open to new partnerships. You've heard on just a few occasions of some of the ad tech partnerships that we have, some of the partnerships we have with brands in case studies that we're running, but we are always open to new partnerships and would love to speak to any of you in the room about how you could work with Ocado Ads. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, chaps. Very, very nice indeed. Thank you very much. One for you, Alex. What does a good brief look like? So I think there's a tendency, we certainly feel it, that retail media has been this very bottom of the funnel, pretty functional, performance-focused thing, which is great. Probably needs to be that.
Yeah.
My sense is something bigger. What does a really good brief look like for you guys?
I think when it comes to a good brief or the perfect brief, it's being really, really clear about the objective first up, and then the reporting off the back of that, what the expectation from the client is. So obviously the reporting for a campaign that's targeting penetration, for example, is very, very different to if we're optimizing to ROAS. I think the perfect brief is one that's like really, really clear in terms of the objective and what it is that we want from the campaign, how we're going to measure success. And then personally, I really like you say, sort of have alluded to, sort of more of the brand-led creatives, like really sort of taking those above the line creatives, but being able to execute them all the way through the funnel, right, even at the point of purchase as well. So I think those are the really exciting bits. I think, obviously if you're running brand-led creative at the point of purchase, you can expect some immediate sales uplift. It would be wrong not to expect that because we are, after all, at the point of purchase. But it's also about sort of some of those other objectives, driving penetration, educating consumers about why a brand's so good.
Nice, good principles. Give it up for Ocado Ads.